is closed. If you said you had to leave, I will close the door right after you. You
all that R.Kelly bullshit going on.
You heard what happened with R.Kelly?
What?
His mother, he asked his mother to marry him.
Oh, man.
Man, come on, dog. Let me tell y'all. Y'all want me to be y'all the real because it might hurt some people's feelings. I tell y'all about R.Kelly. So what I got Lifetime just made a lot of money. Everybody knows Lifetime is. That's a reality show. 6 seasons, 6 episodes of that. Let's be real. Now the truth, what I don't like, the parents. If you somebody daddy and you knocking on the door, pitching the window, they got your daughter in there, y'all know. I ain't gonna be on no reality show or Lifetime. I'm gonna be on CNN, straight up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get real. Think about it. Yeah. I'm not about to play with nobody. I'm gonna burn it down. I'm gonna do something. So I'm telling y'all, that's what I don't like. This ain't your kid in there. My character gone. God know I believe, I trust, all that, bro. But that'll be out. Nobody gonna play with my kids. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you shouldn't even been on TV in there. If you're a parent, you shouldn't be on there unless you're on CNN from a jail cell. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So I don't know if R.Kelly did it or not. That ain't my business. I ain't judging. But I'm just saying those parents shouldn't have let that go that far. And they shouldn't have been knocking on no window, throwing no rocks if they know somebody in there with their kid. You know, and now if you got your kid and your kid come out and they won't go back, that's on them. At least I tried as a parent. But if my kid in there, it's going to be all out walk. Everybody coming outside, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't respect that part. That's the part I don't respect. Because if you got love for your kids, you going to walk behind your kids. You ain't doing no reality show. You know?
GalFridays, that was Master P's uncensored version of what he would do if he were put in that situation with his children, knowing that they are in basically steps away from him and haven't seen their child in how many years, you know? And again, like Natty Pomp said, is to make sure you comment below and let us know what would you do if you were put in that situation. But it's unheard of, all of the things that are going on, all the allegations, all from even having to be forced to eat R.Kelly's feces, some of these girls have said. It's just unimaginable. We already saw what he did from tapes through the trial of him urinating in a 13-year-old's mouth. And actually, during the documentary, they were listing certain facts about the case. Some of them were that this porn tape that he made, he actually was interviewing some of the girls and he was asking, okay, what's your name? How old are you? These girls were saying 12 and literally 12. So you have to, if you can, go online and look up the tape. I'm sure some places might have even posted it.
Taken it down.
Right, they could have taken it down, or but you could, if you're, if you have cable, go through your cable provider and watch it on Lifetime.
Jada Pinkett Smith posted on our Instagram. They're supposed to be covering it, this whole R.Kelly thing in one of their episodes. Anyway, where are black girls not important enough? Or, you know, in society's eyes, you know, or the law, you know, we're not important enough. Because for all these years, I mean, these allegations didn't just appear
overnight.
Yesterday. Exactly. They have been going on since the 90s, like you said, correct? And nothing has been done to this man. And he's walking around, had the audacity to be on, well, TMZ picked up the video where he, for his birthday, he didn't give a fuck, you know, because it's his birthday, he didn't care what's going on. I mean, can someone be so callous, so heartless, And but then again, I'm hearing this so-called the person, someone called the cops because they said there was a what was it? A warrant out for him. So anyway, long story short, that warrant wasn't for, I guess it was Chicago where he was at this club. The warrant was for Florida. And come to find out, he had had sex with a white girl who ended up with a disease. I'm not sure if she was underage or what, but that is what has now alerted.
That's why the FBI is looking into him.
Looking into it now. What happened to those parents, that mother and father that we saw being interviewed, that were stonewalled? And I tell you, in cases like this, I am a firm believer that there are times when, if you want your child and someone is holding your child by whatever means necessary, guns blazing, like I said before, hell, fire, and brimstone. But I mean, this man has gotten away with, literally with murder, because he has killed these young women's future. Even though some of them may be going along with life or whatever, but there's that scar.
Because it got worse
forever. Carry that scar.
Mm-hmm. Forever. Even the women that were on the documentary, you could tell that they're still scarred behind all that he was inflicting on them. And not just that, is that these were women that he started from the 90s with. So the women that he has progressed with over this time and has what they call a sex cult is going through even worse situations than what those women were going through. Because now it is having to be under wraps because he did go to trial a few times regarding his acts of holding basically these women hostage, not letting them go, possibly being underage. Even in his interview that he had years ago, his question was, well, how young is, or when you say teenager, what exactly, are you talking about 18 or 19 or sort of thing?
No remorse. I mean,
like he didn't have he didn't even flinch when he asked.
Yeah.
When he asked that question, it's so pathetic. But he actually sat there like no glasses on, having a heart-to-heart, open conversation on television, on cable, for everyone to see. How old are we talking? Like, that's not a question.
And you know what, too, even at the club, whenever they had his birthday bash or whatever, and I mean, there were women there that were cheering him on. I believe he was singing Bump and Grind. And, I don't understand it, and, like Jada Pinkett Smith said, she needs to understand, what is going on where people, would really back somebody like that. And the bottom line is, you're going to have those who do it for whatever reason, and it's irrelevant. Really and truly, it's irrelevant. The bottom line is that man needs to be behind bars. He needs to be locked up, chained, beaten, and tarred.
And the thing is, that's also somewhat of a double standard, and I hate to even say it or put anybody else under the bus, but like with Andrea being on the documentary, and then also being a Hollywood housewife, or not Hollywood housewife, but a Hollywood
I think ex-wife
Ex-Wives Club of Hollywood. Then we saw and grew to like the type of woman that she had grown to become again. That she grabbed hold of whatever went on with her and said, you know what, I have to move forward for my children. I went through this, but I'm not going to let that defeat me, and I'm moving forward with purpose. Now, since then, still, she makes different posts on her live Facebook Live, and will say like, okay, everybody, I'm singing, like he'll have her ex-husband's song playing, and like, yeah, that's my baby daddy, and go out and support him. He's coming out with another album. Make sure you go and support him. Recent. And go out and support him, because I need to be able to pay. This is now a thing where I need to pay for, house, living, and whatever it is. And then even he made a statement last year too, also of like having to go out and support his music because now it's a thing where he needs to pay for his rent. My question as an onlooker is that a rent for your sex cult house, or like that you were evicted out of in Atlanta here, or where, like, what exactly are you wanting to get support for? And he's blatantly putting it in the media, putting it out there for everybody to know exactly what situation and position that he's in, and that he's moving forward on that. And it really sucks. It sucked actually to see Andrea saying what she was saying on her Facebook Live. And I don't know, maybe if she had a few drinks or what, but it was not exactly what we kind of grew to see her reestablish herself as. And also, it definitely wasn't the victim that we saw on...
That is so disappointing.
That we saw in the documentary.
So disappointing.
So that was kind of like, whoa, is this really what I will, you know what, I will try to pull that video back up before we finish this segment or this
That is unfortunate, you know, and I mean, I understand, you know, what
that is her income.
Yeah, but with her talent, you know, why not use that platform, you know, to say, you know, hey, I'm not just dropping a name, but I have these qualifications.
Right.
You know, versus...
And remove his last name from your name. If you're a survivor, you want to break all ties with whoever the actual, what would we call him?
Predator.
Predator. What else? Abusive, SOB, like whatever it is, psychotic man. You'd want to break all ties to not have one inkling to him, for him or anybody to think that you're still in cahoots with what he was doing to you if you were really that scarred. And also your children, like...
I can't even believe it.
His daughter, the oldest one, she in fact had started to say some things that initially was taken down, but they put it back up. I think they put it back up, or they're going to, of what her views were, and that he was a monster. She grew up in that house and she's a monster. And I was wondering the same thing, like during the watching the Surviving R.Kelly documentary, where were the kids when she was locked in the room and could not leave out of the room for years, besides to ask him to use the bathroom or to have something to eat? Like, she had to ask permission to eat. So if she's a mother and she has her children there, then where were the kids? Were they in there with her, sitting and shit while she's waiting to be excused to the bathroom, or having to ask for something to eat? Like, where were the kids during that time? So it goes to say, like, there was a lot of things that goes on behind closed doors that we're not privy to.
And you know, to take it into consideration, they could be very young at the time. I don't know how old they are now. I have no idea. But it could be that where, you know, kids tend to be oblivious, could be at school or whatever, you know, mom is doing, you know, and from what we see, he is that operator, you know, where he can convince people to believe what he wants them to believe.
Yep. Well, Joanne Kelly, who's his firstborn, and his daughter, who goes by the name of BukuAbi, posted a lengthy statement on her Instagram. Before I start, this is her, Joanne Kelly, R.Kelly's oldest daughter's statement. Before I start, I just want it to be known that I am speaking from the heart. Nothing I say or do not say is to hurt any party reading this or affected by this. The statement continued to read on that to the people that I feel I should be speaking up against everything that is going on right now. I just want you all to understand that devastated is an understatement. If my silence to all that is happening comes off as careless, that is my last intention. I pray for all the families and women who have been affected by my father's actions. Trust, I have been deeply affected by all of this. Anyone that knows me personally or has been following me throughout the years knows that I speak to him or on his behalf. I also
This is BukuAbi's statement that she posted on her Instagram. I will be supporting her moving forward. She's a wonderful artist, and I will be posting her video either before or at the end of this video.
Reminders of how terrible my father is and how we should be speaking up against him. Rude comments about my family, fabricating me, my siblings, and our mother's part, etc., does not help my family, me, my sister, my brother, and my mother, in our healing process. The same monster you all are confronting me about is my father. I am well aware of who and what he is. I grew up in that house. Okay, family, friends, followers, fans, etc. I love you guys to pieces. Your love is appreciated and will always be.
Stick up in there. Oh, okay.
That was it. That was
Because
all of
I'm
that shit to
wondering
say.
from what she's saying, people are she's getting some backlash.
Well, I mean, of course, she might be getting just even supportive comments or people just asking, hey, what happened to you? Did you get molested by your dad? Or,
Okay, I see.
when your mom was locked up, hey, where were you guys? Or, how did that play a part? Like, is your mom telling the truth? Like, because now she's a grown woman and can speak on her own behalf, and it may seem like nothing's going on if she is involved on social media. People sometimes, they don't really know you all the way and want to know a little bit more, especially if it's made mainstream media and now your mom and all of these victims are talking out against him, and they're mentioning the different abortions and or unable to have children because of him,
And diseases, you know what I mean?
right,
The
and that's why they're unable.
Oh.
It's just really sad, but I mean, she might be getting pinned by multiple people just to say something, and or PR has gotten to her and said, hey, you need to make a statement on her behalf or on the mother's behalf.
And I guess the bottom line to this whole thing is, I mean, for closure and healing to really begin, that man needs to be behind bars.
Some type of punishment.
And like I said before, he made a mockery by going into church and having them lay hands on him and his hands are up. And then he's in the club cursing. I mean, I curse. I'm a Christian, pastor's daughter. So I understand that. But bottom line is, with what he did, and more than likely is continuing to do, how dare you, R.Kelly, stand up in church and do that, and knowing that you have underage girls captive.
It doesn't make sense. And that you're still allowed to actually even be in an area of, like, if you look at some people that were charged with even an one misdemeanor involving a child or anything, they are then having to be banned from even buying a house, renting a house, going in the area of where children or a school is. It doesn't make sense that he has
Registered
his
sex offender
house like not too far from the high school.
I don't understand why they don't raid the place that they suspect these girls to be.
Right, and apparently before they had, but then that fell through. Again, watch the Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly's coverage. That documentary covers everything of where it comes to like where he's living, the police being involved, different raids. Even on that documentary, the girl or the woman who has not been seen since she was in college by her parents, and her parents were throwing pebbles at the window trying to call out her name to see if she would come by. Somebody walked past the window, looked out, they didn't know if it was her or not, and they started getting excited and screaming like, please, like, let her see us. Now, even with that being said, they called the police to do a wellness check, and the police came out on camera on the Lifetime documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. Police came out there and everything, talked to them, and they gave us the whole rundown of why it is that they can't break down the door because there's no probable cause, is what they said.
So this is where a parent's responsibility in my eye comes in, because the probable cause is you have my child. So this is where the family comes together and take action.
Somebody unmasked.
Okay? I mean,
to scare the shit out. Excuse me, but to scare the shit up out of those people.
No,
who
not
are,
to scare them. You are going to
no,
take those
whoever's at the
children.
door. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? He's literally not in there, but he has the amounts of help that he does in aiding these acts that he's doing with these kids.
Man.
They're not letting anybody through that door. You only can imagine that he has bodyguards there 24/7.
So we're not going in there unarmed. You know, we have
They
to
get
go in there.
They're unmasked, like they're behind masks. They're
Yeah.
completely masking
Yeah.
what they do. Okay, but bad men, whatever it is that you have in your corner, at that point, off goes the mask, and I'm hearing your
Yeah.
face open this door, or it's going to be blown off its hinges.
Yeah, I wouldn't even warn them. No warning is deserved. Because regardless of who they work for, they know beyond the shadow of a doubt that they're doing something wrong. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, when this operation, it should be covert, overt, a mixture of everything. Where you go in there guns blazing. Because know that those girls are not going to be behind doors. Because they probably would do that if they know you're coming. So it has to be, you know what though, we can always, what if, let's do this, whatever, but the bottom line is that man, just looking at him, looking at his picture right there, is enough for, to me, it's just this, he's disgusting.
And it's like, again, I can't get past where it's like, you have a mask on like all this time. Like there so many songs that we all walk around and like will sing with your kids. I Believe I Can Fly. That was my oldest and my song when she was little, and she's my firstborn. So and here it is. I'm like, you could fly. You could like look at R.Kelly, and Space Jam. That was her movie, especially with JJ. You know what I mean? To watch whenever he and Latrell comes to town from New York and we watch Space Jam, it's like, I believe, and you're thinking like you believe you could do anything, but then yet you know that a sucker is the one that made the song, and while he's doing it, he had women chained up in the recording studio, one to each room with a bucket in the corner, can't move, can't ask to use the bathroom, can't go anywhere because they have a bucket in the corner in the room that they're in with the bed that's in the dark that they are to take number one or number two
here in the United States of America.
In Chicago.
Hiding in plain sight. There's no excuse.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
We need to call on our government officials. We
are experiencing also with government shutdown. So they're not being paid right now today.
Yeah. And then we have in the White House, quote unquote, the quote from Dr. Manning, from the Manning report, that orange-haired orangutan, okay, that is in the White House directing traffic, and I don't know how.
I'm sorry, it's not a laughing matter.
Yes, I don't know how he has been able to get away with the shit that he's been doing, because God help me, if President Obama even thought it, he would have been assassinated. America, wake up. What's going on? I know I have a family member, I won't say who or whatever, who is a Trump supporter, which is a disgrace to me.
Well.
And it's very hurtful. Because when you have someone, here it is, you have people who depend on the Obamacare, myself included, and they want to take those things away and supposedly have something else in.
And Obamacare covers an array of things, all the way from legalization of having to be here from what you call a dreamer, where you come here when you're a child, you're brought here with your family from another country, and you are pursuing having to get your legalization here.
Well, no, the difference with our families from in Jamaica, we had to get the everything.
Before, but however, others that I won't name.
Right.
Okay, that here it is that the dreamers come, and then now it is that if this completely from what President Obama was going on with the what they call now the Obamacare, but if if everything is completely torn apart with that, then there goes that whole process of dreamers being able to become American citizens and neutralized, because it's also covered under that Affordable Care Act. So, I mean, it's pretty sad. There's a lot of things that you should outline or look through for where it comes to the whole Obamacare and everything. But, I mean,
And
you know,
I'm
for
sorry, I
health,
took us off on a tangent.
a whole nother.
Yeah.
But R.Kelly, look at what you got going on here, bro.
Okay, but you know what, though?
Not
These
bro,
things-
you're no bro to me, but look at what you have got
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
here. Where it's like now people that are working their 9-to-5 job and they're working in the federal bureaus, they're not being paid. And you even have a lot of them, especially in, I think it's Miami, I don't want to say Dade County, but that are on the hunt for you and gathering all of the evidence against you, and they're doing it with no pay. You're talking about having to support your album or buying your new albums because you need to pay for your rent. What about people who are doing good? Okay, you're paying for rent for you to be able to go and sodomize another woman or child, or even maybe somebody at the Federal Investigations child. No. Things are twisted with the way that America is supposed to be wrapped up. And again, like my mom has said, Natty Pomp said, that until you get down on your knees and you bow down and you repent, okay, and even that, God still has his working in the process.
And he needs to be chained.
In a complete process, because, you know, it's just sad where we are. And I wonder what does, let's say, Janet Jackson, let's say, Lady Gaga, for real, Chris Brown, who else? Because we have to think now living, that's currently living, but all of these different acts that he's done work with, even Stevie Wonder, like, you know, are like all of the different people that have worked with Yolanda Adams, like that have worked with R.Kelly. What are they saying? What are their views about it? Those are the ones that are going I shouldn't even say unedited or uncensored, because they're not even, they chose not to say anything. Jay-Z, like, he's another one who said that he didn't want to say anything, that he wasn't going to speak out, you know, and then a lot of the people who did speak out are getting ridiculed and reamed a whole new one by people who support them. Even a rapper was on his Instagram Live yesterday talking a lot of stuff about John Legend and Charlemagne having to be on this documentary. It's pretty sad. I mean, it's like, where do you see your moral compass coming into play?
That's why I admire Master P for the stance he took. You know what I mean? Because you know, we all know Master P, you know that guy, and he was being honest. That's right. He wasn't diluted.
Right.
And said what he would do if you know.
He said, I'm not saying that he did this, he didn't do this, or whatever the case is, but I know, man, if you have my child and I know where it's at, it's going to be all out war. There will be a fire lit to that building.
Absolutely.
Just to get in there to his child.
Absolutely.
There's no one that can hold you back from that. You know? And I mean...
Sorry. I need a break real bad. My mouth is so dry.
Ooh! We doing be lovely things here. She done scared the shit out of me. I said, what is it? And we have vaulted ceilings up here, so I'm wondering, like, I know it's not no spider that came down here.
Oh, Lord, maybe
What
I need to
is
just
up?
take a little calming.
See what R.Kelly is making it stir.
Okay.
But I really hope that things turn around. I really, really do hope. But one way or another, he has it coming. He does have it coming.
And there are guys who have been in jail for whatever reason and have managed to not turn their life around in a way where they're making an impact outside. You know, some sort of outreach where he is in the jail, not outreach outside of the jail, because that's where he needs to be. You know, where he can, you know, they just like what we're doing, you know, tape it on a, you know, whatever.
Right.
You know?
And even his brother, I just want to say before we close out from this session, is that his brother Bruce, for him to have said on the documentary Surviving R. Kelly that his other brother Kerry he was looking at him almost like a fool for not taking the money and taking the rap of him taking it to say, I was the one in that pornography with the kids and all this stuff like that with the P. Okay? And he felt it almost like you would have been a rich man. Like $100,000 is what he offered you. And a deal with something with music. And you never took it. Like, I felt like almost like that was pathetic. Number one, $100,000 is not even enough for you to live on for 4 months. Okay, that would be gone. And, you know, you're not a rich man and you're now an idiot and you know, you're going to be facing time and probably be in there with Bobo, the brother named Bruce Kelly, in jail, in prison with him in Chicago. That's what would have happened. So, Carrie, I hope you're holding your head up, bro.
Yes,
and
I salute you.
You just keep on moving forward. Your kids, I hope that they are now, you know, torment-free from kids who were trying to beat them up just because you were allegedly the one in that tape, which the lawyers did lie. R.Kelly, your brother's lawyers lied about it. But I hope that you are now having to live a better life moving forward, not knowing that you're being held back or, you know, scrutinized in any way of something that your brother did.
Absolutely.
And to your kids, R.Kelly, and your ex-wife and all of the victims, I really hope that you do continue to get counseling and that one day all of yours and other unnamed victims will be completely, he's going to be condemned.
Yeah.
You know, but once again, thank you for joining us. I'm your girl, Coco the Honey Queen.
Natty Pomp.
And we're Mahogany GalFridays.
Look forward to the next time.
Thank you.
Tally.
Bye. Comment, like, and subscribe.
And ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Alert the bell. Get it.
It's hard to look at you, and I know where you've been and what you've been doing, babe. And what you've been doing, babe. We feel the same things and I feel like shit. So I know that you'll feel it. It's hard to look in the mirror when these feelings get deeper and deeper, baby. And deeper and deeper, baby. Just keep us in sync, yeah, yeah, yeah. You keep me out of line, yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you been and what you been doing to me? Where is your patience? Please give me time. I have so much for you, but you want it all right now. Stressing us both out now. I wish I could tap out now, but I'm the only one that can give up on you. I gotta go back.